Okay, in this video, we're going to take a look at the conditional control structure using if-then statements. And what you're going to see on the screen is the simple if-then statement. And it reads like English. What we start off with is we start with a keyword if and a keyword then, and that's why it's called an if-then statement. And what we do is between the if and the then we have a condition. And this condition is a relational operator which is going to determine if something is true or if something is false. And the condition of an if-then statement we call a Boolean expression, which evaluates to being either true or being false. And so let's take a look at how this may work in practice. So what we're going to use is we're going to use for our condition, we're going to choose from the relational operators. And there's 6 of them all together in Visual Basic, and I've put them on a list here. So you can see the operator and what it means. So the equal means that something is the same. The less than symbol means something smaller. The greater than symbol means something is larger. Greater than equal means it's larger or it's equal to. Less than and equal, or the less than and greater than symbol together means it's not the same, not equal to. So let's start by making a guessing game. And what we're going to do is I'm going to launch Visual Basic here. And I've got a text box. And in the text box, I'm going to guess a number. And if the number is smaller, if the guess is smaller than my secret number, we're going to display that it's too small. The guess is too small. So let's put a button on here to guess the number. And I'll change the text of the button to say guess. So when I click on button guess, I'll rename this to button guess. So when I click on this button guess, what I'm going to do is I'm going to respond back that your guess is either too small, too large, or it's correct. So first I'm going to make a secret number. And I'll create a variable by going dim. And I'll create secret number as a whole number. And it's going to equal 67. So now you know the secret number. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to create another variable called guess, which is going to be an integer. And it's going to equal the value of the text in the text box. So I write the value of text in the text box. Okay, so now let's set up our if-then condition. So I use the keyword if. I'm going to have a condition, and I'm going to say if guess is smaller than the secret number, and then I put the keyword then, and by default the program will automatically generate the end if statement for us. And what we can do is I can say that the label 1 text might read something like, your guess is too small. Okay, let's try this out. So in my form, when I enter a number, it's going to turn into a variable called guess. And when I press the button guess, it's going to evaluate whether the if-then statement, the condition, is either going to be true or it's going to be not true. So let's hit play. And I'm going to guess a number of 10. So my guess is 10, and the computer responds with, your guess is too small. Obviously, I need to make this larger. Okay, so let's try it again. So if you take a look at the code, why did it say that your guess is too small? Well, was guess smaller than secret number? My guess was 10. My secret number was 67. So 10 is smaller than 67. So this condition here evaluates to true. And so what happens in an if-then statement is whatever code that comes between the keyword if and the end if this condition is true, it's going to execute any of the codes that are between the if and the end if. So let's just go back and take a look at how it looks. So we use the keyword if. We have a condition that evaluates as true or it evaluates as false, and a keyword called then. And if it's true, everything between the if-then condition and the end if is going to be executed, and that's why it worked. But what happens if it's false? Remember, I said that this is only going to work if it's true. What's going to happen if my condition is false? So for example, in my program, what would happen if my guess was larger? Not smaller than the secret number, but larger. Let's see what would happen. And what's going to happen is absolutely nothing. I'm going to guess this time 99, and when I go guess, the secret number is 67, and is 99 less than 67? No, it looks like nothing happens. The computer did execute the code, but the reason it looks like nothing happens is because this is false. And this is only going to appear when the condition, which is guess is smaller, is true. So what we could do, what students will sometimes do, is say, oh, okay, so let me just stick another if-then statement. And so we could certainly do that. We could say if guess is larger, we're going to say your guess is too large. And now we could play the program, and what's going to happen is we've got an if statement for guess is smaller, and I've got an if statement for when guess is larger. So if I put in here 47, that's smaller, it's going to say your guess is too small. And if I put in 87, it's going to say your guess is too large. But what about if we have 67? Oh, well, we don't have something for that. So we can change our program, and I can actually simplify this a little before I change it. So the next thing I want to do is, what if I want to have just one if-then statement that is going to trigger if it's too small or too large? And let's go back to my notes here, and I'm going to talk about an if-then-else statement. The if-then-else statement evaluates both true and false conditions. And how it works is we've got our if and our condition. And if the condition is true, it's going to do these statements. And then I'll have a keyword else. And else means that the condition is false. And so if it's true, it's going to do the first set. And if it's false, it's going to do the second set. So let's just take a look and rewrite it as that. And so I'm going to go back in here, and I'm just going to rewrite this as one, and all I need to do is put one else statement, and now I evaluate for both true and false. I don't even have to put the condition because it's already there. The condition is this is not true. So if this is true, it's going to say your guess is too small. And if it's not, it's going to say your guess is too large. And then finally, I could have, maybe I'll add the last thing, is I can add, so that's for not correct. And for correct, we can evaluate the equals. And I can say label 1 text you guessed my number. And so now we can press play, and you'll see both true and false are going to be, if the guess is smaller, it's going to say too small. If it's not, it's going to say too large. And if it's correct, we're going to say you got it. So here we go. 47, too small. 99, too large. 67, You guess the number.